That was Chasing Something Called Love by Molly and the Heymakers, and with me, Molly Shear. Molly, welcome to Hit Country Video.
Thanks, I'm glad to be here.
That was a beautiful video, and the song, you co-wrote that song.
Yes, I did. That was actually one of my first ventures of co-writing down in Nashville. I'd gotten the record deal, and I'd never co-written a song in my life, and that's quite the norm down in Nashville. So I flew down for about a week, and that was my first song ever co-written. And I think it's ironic that that was picked as our first single.
But now you started, I guess your rehearsals were done in a milk house. The acoustics in a milk house are super. I used to live on the farm. We had a milk house.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah. And did you do other people's songs at that time? You weren't writing then?
No, the goal for the band has always been to do original material. So I would say 3 years even before the record deal, we were doing original material, and we worked it all up in the milk house. And that's not a thing of the past for us. We're still actively working in the milk house. Record deal and all, we're still back out there in the milk house.
When that's at your parents' farm?
No, it's my farm.
Oh, it's
my
your farm.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you grew up, your father liked opera. And I guess you were raised mostly around the classical music?
Yeah, he was actually an opera singer himself, and just very much into classical music and alternative sounding music. I remember going to so many recitals, and I played in orchestras, and I also played in an ancient instrument group. And then when I was in college, I went to a Charlie Daniels concert, and I thought, now I know what to do with that violin. And it was it. That was a real turning point in my life. I just fell in love with the sound of fiddle, and it was such a free sound, and without having to read music. And from that point on, I just started teaching myself fiddle playing, which it's the same instrument. It's just you have to loosen up to play. And
well, what did your dad say when you started playing Charlie Daniels type music?
He was baffled. I mean, he obviously he's going to let me do whatever I wanted, right. And it was never his cup of tea, definitely. But after I got the record deal, I think all of a sudden he thought, well, geez, there must be something to it, and he wrote me a country song. I mean, he's a great writer of music and has written many commercials and musicals himself, and he wrote a country song for me, and it's really clever.
Well, the guys that are in the Heymakers, did you grow up with them, or are they guys that you met in school? And
well, I met them in school and college, and not all of them, but Andy D., who's lead guitar, we've been together 10 years now playing music, and we met while in college. The other guys have all been members joining within the past 4 years, actually.
And what's it like on the road with 4 guys? It
depends on when you ask me.
It's got to be a trip.
Well, sometimes it's real fun. I mean, we're all good friends, and when we get on stage, there's a chemistry between us, and that's when it happens. It clicks, and we really have a great time. But sometimes we're out on the road for a long time, and I'm lonesome for female companionship. Mm-hmm. And they know, they sense this, and they really give me my space. And so I'm lucky. They're all real considerate guys. And but it is hard being around men all the time.
Right, and they protect you like a sister.
Yeah, they do. In fact, they very rarely let me go anyplace alone, and in that way, it's really nice. And I'm glad that they are my good friends. I can't imagine being a musician, like many women are, by themselves, and then they just hire a band, and they don't even know these men. Right. And all of a sudden they're on tour with them for weeks. And I got to hand it to those gals that are out there doing that, because I'm on with my friends, and they do take care of me, as I do take care of them.
And it looks glamorous, but it is a hard life.
Yeah, it is. In fact, that's my big joke, is as I'm making my way through some greasy kitchen to the fabulous dressing room, which is oftentimes nothing but a closet. Right. I'm saying, boy, is this glamorous.
Yeah, isn't this great?
Yeah.
Okay, do you find time to write on the road, or do you have to come off the road?
I've tried it. It's hard for me to write on the road. It's a very scattered life. Mm-hmm. And it's even like today, yesterday morning I was in Wisconsin, and now here I am here, and that's after driving to Duluth, flying to Minneapolis, flying to Nashville, catching the bus and driving through the night here. And you wake up and you're going, now where am I? And what am I doing today? You're so scattered because you're all over the place. And I never seem to really get my thoughts together as well as I do when I'm at home on my farm That's when I get the majority of work done. But whenever I have an idea, I write it down and I log it so that I can bring it home and then work on that idea.
I wanted to ask you, is it hard to hold the fiddle the way you hold it? It's
You know, it is. It's something that people don't realize, that you're actually holding it with your neck and shoulder, those muscles, and you develop a lot of upper body strength from doing that.
yeah, but you sometimes let it go a little bit. And,
Yeah, that's kind of the fiddle style. You can let it go and break in your wrist, but most of the time you're not doing real technically hard material then. It's more fiddling then.
Okay. Now you're getting ready to do another album. You're in the process of it
Yeah,
now?
I'm really excited about it because I think as a writer, my writing has really grown, and being a mother, I've got 2 kids, and I've been on the road, and I'm a woman in business right now, and I think I've got a lot more experiences to write about. And I think that the writing has been real good, so I'm excited to get in the studio. And in fact, my producer says, "Man, you got some hits in this one," so I'm excited to get going on it.
That's great. And they're all yours on the new album?
Well, that's undecided at this point. I would say that I've got some real solid material. What actually ends up on an album is, who knows,
Right.
It has to go through the committee, basically, which is the record label, your producer, and the band itself.
Okay, well, I hope we get some nice videos off of the new one. I guess they're not going to be any more off of this album
Not
now.
off this album. We're done. I mean, that was pretty much the standard number of videos for our record label. They're a little more conservative than many other companies, but that's, people always think you make money on videos, where you don't. They're actually a promotional tool, and you spend money for them to be on the air, and you don't
But
make
they
any
work.
money. They do work, and they sell albums,
Right.
and they sell shows. People recognize.
Okay, well, we're going to be looking forward to the next album then. And what do you think, it'll be out in the spring sometime?
I would guess in the spring. We'll probably start working at early January.
Okay, well, thanks again for being
Thanks.
with us. And will you take us back to the show and introduce your last video
Sure. Here we are, and let's go climb that big old mountain of love.
on Hit Country Video?
Standing on a mountain looking down at the city, the way I feel, it's a doggone pity. Teardrops are falling from the mountainside. Many times I've been here, many times I cried. We used to be so happy when we were in love, high on a mountain of love. Night after night I've been standing here alone, weeping my heart out till the cold gray dawn, praying that you're lonely and you'll come too, hoping that by chance I might get a glimpse of you, trying so hard to find you somewhere up above, high on a mountain of love. The mountain of love, the mountain of love, you should be ashamed. We used to be a mountain of love, but you just changed your name. Way down below there's 500,000 people. Somewhere there's a church with a big tall steeple. Inside the church, well, there's an altar filled with flowers. Wedding bells are ringing, they should have been ours. That's why I'm so lonely, my dreams have gone above, high on a mountain of love.
reporter with all the news it is news.